my stars. Confession of love. Feeling love bubble energy. Let's confirm that. Let's confirm what's around you guys. Confession of love. This could be coming in Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, things that have had communication issues. I feel this spy is putting things under review. It's funny, TikTok, we had 2 people in regret over decisions made towards you. Here I feel like it's 1. This is actually, I'm feeling a warmth from this energy, but there could have been some addictions as a detail that, you know, maybe really put a wedge between you guys, things to do with finances. I just feel this collective, I don't think it was ever the right time here with this connection. Let's get spy. 1 more for spy. Yeah, things are about to get serious. They could be an air sign. You could be an air sign, but we're confirming this spy energy. Don't make these details fit because confession of love, it's a pretty powerful message. You're going to need some discernment here. Mercury retrograde. Making room for the new beginning that's on its way to you now. And then you've got cycles, fate, karma, something that ended is about to begin again. Spy. Everything in universal timing. So like I said, I just don't think you guys were meant to be any sooner. They could have presented quite self-involved. 1 more for giving it time. Everything in divine timing. Phew, they'll be back. Letter of love. There it is. Your confession. So this spy, they're clearly in your energy doing more research now. I think they're finding the right words here. But luck is on your side with this person. I don't think luck has been on your side in the past. There's something about self-evolution here with this person, self-evolution with you. Like I said, it's very rare. I feel like a real warmth, and especially when there's been damage in a connection. But clearly for this collective, it's smelling very special. I don't want to put a label of divine just yet, but definitely feels like something part of your soul contract. All right, last one. Although I think this definitely confirms what we're feeling. Love spell, bewitched. So what's this? Because of the bad finances, because of the addictions, because of the, there could have been gambling issues, but I think it was never the right time back then. I don't think either of you were where you wanted to be in life. I think you guys found each other in quite a traumatic state. There could be distance here between you guys. Let me actually confirm. I want to confirm your past energy with this person, and then we'll really break it down. Let's see your past connection. Labradorite, you could have just got one. All right. Past connection here. What did you guys experience in the past? Let's actually get very detailed and roll a dice. Past. So 4 came out. So I don't want to say 4 weeks. I don't think 4 weeks is enough time to heal. I don't even think 4 months is. I think it takes a long time to really get through emotional work and create change. But 4 months, 4 years. So 2021, you could have met this person, but that's important. Don't make the details fit. Okay. Past connection. Wow. Okay, Hermit in reverse. High Priestess in reverse. Wow. Whoa. Okay. this is heavy. So paralyzed in fear. If you guys were quite isolated, there could have been a lot of paranoia. This is what unhealed energy does. You could have both experienced quite a bit of powerlessness when it came to one another. I think you both were quite disconnected from your higher selves. There could have been secrets, misinformation. You got 2 cards here, 3 cards about isolation. Maybe you guys were the kind of couple that just, unfortunately, was kind of, you were each other's be all and end all, and really cut away your surroundings once you guys connected. I feel this was a very isolating connection in the past. I think you were burnt out by this love story. I think this made you feel quite restless. There was something about your dormant abilities, clearly with this High Priestess in reverse, that were activated because of this person. But I think when you met them, and it's funny because everything happens for a reason. And I'm just going back to today's collective. So you could be in the same color. I always say collectives and twin flames really show the world that with the way you guys work in waves, and how your stories, depending what wave you're in, is very similar. I find the same with collective energy, and you see it in comment sections. So many people go through the same thing. You all have your own color you share, and I feel this is the same color category as our TikTok collective, but different, where I don't think there's 2 people here in regret. I definitely think you have one. But one thing I am hearing that is also similar here to that collective is, I think you both found each other from a place of a karmic catalyst. So I think this collective, you either came out from a long-term connection when this person entered, and same for the person that is connected to you. I think you both found each other, one, full of trauma, unfortunately, but 2, there was a certain activation taking place in both of you, if you knew it at that time or not. So maybe when this person first entered your life, you were just starting to hone into your true spiritual gifts, or maybe you really noticed that in this person connected to you, how on top of they were with like energy and intuition. They would say things would happen. I just feel you both found each other as, because you know what I say about trauma, when we awaken to this world, it's because our vessel can't handle any more trauma. And I think you both came out of a situation, let it be, it was both long-term, or yours was long-term, theirs was more maybe only a year or 2, whatever the case. I feel your trauma from your past relationships and life, of course, was really already it was already coming to a breaking point, if either of you knew it or not. Okay, this collective watching, I think you've had a lot more life experience and trauma than the person connected to you. So I think you were probably bubbling more over the surface than this person, but boy oh boy did the person connected to you also have trauma. Okay, but I feel this collective, when you both found each other, you had so much pent-up emotion that it created a lot of paranoia with one another, always looking for ulterior motives, accusations flying, a lot of trust issues, because unfortunately the life you guys had, that card of the gambling, the addictions, if you had addictions also on top of this connection, and I always say addictions do not make you see clearly, they make emotion a lot worse and a lot more accelerated. I just think, unfortunately, but everything happens for a reason, you both found each other truly at a very broken state, because you were meant to, divine energy, activate that last bit of trauma, okay, that your poor vessel could take. I think even though I'm seeing 2 broken birds, you guys just felt you were so in alignment. You felt like this was probably the love of your life, vice versa at this time, even though there was clearly a lot of toxic traits unfortunately implanted in this connection. I think you were so bound to each other because of the intense love you were feeling, even though there was so many warning signs on how destructive this really was. Okay, this is smelling a lot more of a short-lived romance. The universe wasn't going to let you tarnish this with a long-term commitment. They wanted you to feel the love, but they also wanted you to come out of this and reflect and become self-aware of certain traits you had been carrying your whole life. It literally was right person, wrong time. But I'm also feeling with this Eight of Wands, it was a very fast-moving, rapid-moving connection, 0 to 100. You guys could be ruled by 6. Venus is your relationship planet. I find 6 it's literally kind of that love at first sight. You guys are consumed with one another. But I always say, when relationships are moving that fast, it's very detrimental, because you get to the top of your hill with all of these plans and commitments and promises, and it's like you get there and there's nowhere to go because you haven't built that firm foundation to be able to trust and choose each other every day. You're running off lust, you're running off attraction, and it can just be quite detrimental. But it's sad what trauma does, because, and I see this a lot, love is meant to be such a beautiful topping and a safety and a sanctuary in our life. But when we're broken birds, we don't appreciate the happiness that we've been granted by someone else. We become very hypercritical, especially if we have trust issues, especially if we're paranoid, and addictions don't help with paranoia. And for something that can be so beautiful, we can ruin it. And I feel, unfortunately, this is what happened, but it was clearly the universe's plan. Let's keep going here. One more for your top row. Yeah, there was, wow. So there was a lot of hostility. You could have felt this person maybe was quite selfish in arguments, vice versa. Maybe you felt like you self-sacrificed a lot here. You could have lost a lot here. This is smelling so divine. I always say divines, I find in general, very short-lived romance. They kind of dangle that carrot and make you feel something so deep and profound, and then it's removed in a very traumatic way for that last point of activation. It's funny, I'm also hearing me say, I went into explanation about abundant, I'm going to say it over here, it's coming to my mind. This is going to be a bit of a long deviation, it's going to make sense. So what I said over there was, this is how my brain registers this when I talk about, you know, emotional growth and how our decisions can alter our timeline, and, you know, that we all choose a life where we can achieve our abundant timeline. But sometimes as a reader, because I know what I mean in my mind, I don't always explain it to the collective. And this person, as you were to them, they were meant to snap you with this trauma so you could finally quantum jump back to your abundant timeline. And what I mean by that, when we are born, right, and we all choose our vessel, so every time, every lifetime we get it wrong, and we're going up there and we're reviewing the things that we've missed, we as a spirit, our soul chooses an even harder life. Sometimes we'll choose a rest life. Sometimes we come out of a very traumatic, and unfortunately we didn't learn the lessons in that tough life to get home. So we're like, okay, I need a breather. And those rest lives are normally, you know, you see them around you, let it be through your parents or people that can just, they get married quite young, they're quite comfortable, marry their childhood sweetheart. Yeah, they could have some toxic ups and downs, life's a roller coaster, but they make it work. Those people that are just complacent in a job, like as an awoke collective, these are the people you look into, and you know, especially at the start of your activation, you get quite a bit of envy, because you think you're just going through everything, being the best version, and you see these people around you living a certain kind of lifestyle, and I always say we should never judge because we don't know what they've experienced in other timelines. But anyway, I call them our rest lives, right? Where we've just come out of a shocker and we've chosen something a little bit more peaceful, right? But this collective, what I'm trying to get at, when we are born, we are all born and connected to our abundant timeline. That timeline that can get us home, right? But when we choose a very tough life, so we can finally get to the end of that timeline, unfortunately, we choose a life that from a very young age, we are implemented with a lot of trauma. Let it be a broken home, SA in the home. Let it be you were born into a family that you were given up to adoption, really bad parenting skills, addictions in the home. You just choose a rough trot, okay? Those, you know, those lives where maybe, and these examples are for a reason, you could have fell into addictions at a very young age. Here in Australia, we call them refuges, so jumped from home to home. Just a life that we know is going to create blood of fire and steel. A life that we know is going to be hard, but it's going to create enough trauma for when we finally meet our divine in this life, or whatever it is, to break us into awakening. We know what point, we've signed it off at whatever point, whatever year of age we're going to be. But anyway, so here we are, born into our timeline, and people that choose a really hard life, your trauma, I say everybody's trauma, we're all born spiritual beings, we are all born connected to the universe, but it's our upbringing that creates our shadow. It's our upbringing that creates the shadow that keeps us bound to, unfortunately, this is what creates our bad decisions in life. That magnetic pull we always talk about, right? It's our shadow that is our purple curtain in life, our justice energy, the things that create our karma, okay? So from a very young age, we are here on our timeline. And every time we make a decision that, unfortunately, the magnetic pull of our shadow, we deviate a little bit off our timeline, right? Some decisions, and I always say this, we have thousands of different timelines that are planned to the millisecond. This whole world is fated to the millisecond, but it's our decisions that alter our path, right? So we make a decision that we shouldn't, right? And it alters us from our abundant timeline. Sometimes those decisions can be terrible, so it can alter us even more. Sometimes it's just a little bit of a negative decision. But once we are growing up, right, and we are so blocked and we're so conformed and we're stuck in that rat race, 85% of the population, a leopard can't change its spot. And you've got to remember, some people, 85% rest life people that have chosen a rest life, they don't even get to activate to their karmic shadow and their lessons and become self-aware of their wrongdoings and what repeats in their life, our karmic cycle, our 2-year karmic cycle, right? But people that signed in their soul contract to activate, to find their divine again in this lifetime, to go through the awakening, whatever it may be, you've chosen to get smack bang activated with everything that has held you back in life, right? I always say, deviation on top of a deviation. Karmic partners will never make you reflect. It'll always be the blame game. They were this, they were that, they were a narcissist, they were this, they were that. A true soul tie, they inspire you for change. You get your heart broken, you don't blame them. Finally blame yourself. I have to change. I can't keep my lifestyle of addictions. I can't be such a temperamental person. I can't be so impulsive. I can't be so rash. I hate that I'm so restless. Where does my anxiety come from? Where did this start from? Where did my abandonment start from? Where did my codependency start from? Where did my avoidance start from? Why do I treat people like this? Why am I dishonest about this but truthful about that? Why don't I have enough worthiness to start seeing myself properly and stop excusing this? Why am I always seeking validation? Why do I get blinded by flattery, not honesty? Why do I find myself in the same repetitive job every 2 years where I'm feeling undervalued and underpaid? What is it about me What is it about me that I keep calling in the same things to break my soul? It must be me. It mustn't be my surroundings, because every couple years I'm going through the same thing, right? That's what the right love does. It activates us. So back to the first deviation. This collective, right? So making wrong decisions your whole life because you weren't activated, you weren't aware of your karmic veil, you weren't aware that life was working in 2-year karmic cycles, you weren't aware that there was the universal frequency around you, the synchronicities, the universe was always you weren't aware of this, right? So let's just say, like I said over there, you then 30 years old, you became dormant. You met this person and your whole life changed and you finally activated, right? And to do that, right, to activate, you need to go through a quantum jump, a quantum shift. Now, when we go through a quantum shift, the only way to get back to this timeline, remember, all your bad decisions in life have now taken you to a timeline all the way over there, because your whole life you were never correcting yourself and seeing the lessons. So from 30 years old, then being activated, so you've just gone through trauma, the worst heartbreak of your life. Then they put you in spiritual isolation. They rip everyone away from you. You normally lose your job, you lose your home, you lose your fur babies, you lose your family. You're put in the category of crazy. You lose everything. The reason you lose everything is so you can be sucked straight back into your timeline, the timeline you were born into, because now you're awoke. Now you understand about karma. Now you understand about energy, and now you understand about lessons, right? And this is also why I say it's us in control of our timeline. It's our decisions that alter us. And this is why I say do not give in to the magnetic pull that you've been trying to heal for so long, because it's that magnetic pull from your shadow being conformed to you from such a young age that deviates you off your timeline. So this journey, this is why I say it takes years. You've just activated, right? But now you have to heal a shadow and reparent yourself from a life full of blindness, right? So now we've come back onto the abundant timeline. This is when you guys, your 4D mind's activated. This is why you all start to think you're the one, you're this, you're that, I'm going to marry my divine, whatever you see in your 4D mind, I'm going to win, whatever it is. Because you finally connected back to the timeline, which is your past home, if you get to the end of the game, right? So you're finally here, you see everything on this timeline that can be achieved, right? This is when you're activating your high priestess, your oracle within. True divines, you'll get this. If you're not a true divine, this is going to sound like absolute woo-woo. But just because now you've been activated, the hard journey starts. This is why I say it takes years. You've got to be patient with yourself, because just because you've connected back here, now you have to heal everything that tore you away from here. So the whole time you're on this journey, 7 ascensions, next 7 ascensions, and master each emotion, go to the next stage. Everything that has kept you bound to this, you are going to get triggers all the way through your healing journey. Have to burn to learn. Walk through the fire. So what is it from such a young age, lifetime after lifetime, was conformed to your shadow to keep you bound to this contentment? Because that's what this journey is to get through, to heal this stuff. But because you're activated now, every time you go into a magnetic pull, and it takes time, doesn't all work straight away, doesn't all just fall into place straight away, burn to learn. You get tempted to do things you did before you started healing. Every time you give into that temptation, you again deviating, choosing another timeline. But when you're on top of energy, focusing on that Christ-like nature, truly focusing on being the best version of yourself that you can possibly be, walking through life with that whole forgiving and forgetting, non-judgment, all of those qualities that this true journey is meant to activate in you, truly being that unconditional love, right? And it takes time. But you guys get so angry and frustrated with yourself. You think everything should fall into place within a few weeks, a few months. And I see this on the divine journey. You guys all at the start think your person's going to be banging down your door in a day, in a week. And then it comes to your first 9-month cycle. And you're like, where are they? Then it comes to your second 18 months. So then your 18 months, where are they? Then you're 26. You guys work in 9-month cycles, because the quicker you can learn, it's all about you. Ripping away what's kept you conformed here in this condemnment since the start of time. I truly believe, divines, you've been here from the start of time. Until you understand this has never been about them. It's your past home. You signed it in your contract this lifetime to be unconditional love. So any decision you make that is not unconditional love, it's not that you're failing your timeline. You're just prolonging it through your own decisions. This collective is clearly a transition. You understand what I'm saying. You understand about decisions in life. You understand you're the only one that alters your timeline. You understand about the magnetic pull. Do you still give in to the magnetic pull sometimes? Probably. It's a human experience. But you're no longer from here on your timeline. I feel this collective, you're on your timeline. It's just been slow. You're on your timeline. And because you're activated and you've been doing this so many times, you've burnt to learn so many times with your frustration, your temperament, your energetical chasing, whatever your lessons are, your codependence, your abandonment, you've had to walk through it so many times, you're starting to get it, okay? So again, this journey can't be rushed. And that's another thing I say. Let's say you activated 4 years ago. You're only 4 years old. Be more gentle with yourself. You're seeing life for this past 4 years, how you should have seen life your whole life. You're removing a shadow that has kept you bound, not just this lifetime, but so many prior. It's not easy. And I'll tell you something, when you activate, they protect you more than you know. Because yes, you get the emotional lessons of pain, but boy oh boy do they protect you from towers. Where your masculines go through the physical towers, you go through the emotional lessons. Because whoever's activated into their divine feminine frequency here in this lifetime first, you're powerful. And you knew you would be strong enough to lead the way and hold the flame. And not just get you to the end, but finally get your person to the end with you. Just remember that. How can you learn to remove this if they don't show you lessons to face it? You need to burn and walk through the fire to learn from it. You can't avoid it. I always say spiritual activation, it's such a roller coaster, because at the start it's like it's the most, you're finally seeing the world, you're finally seeing the universe, you've finally been activated to this magical frequency. But even though it's the most exciting time, it's the most painful time, because they've just ripped everything away from you. But I feel it's like a blessing in itself, making it so exciting, because even though there's so much pain there, there's just so much focus and belief everything's going to be okay, because you've connected again back to your timeline, so you see it in your 4D mind. But once that excitement goes and you start to really see all of those little things that you envision, they still haven't arrived. I find from the spiritual excitement comes the spiritual depression. And you guys start to miss your old life. And this is when a lot of people fall off the journey too. You miss your old life, so you end up getting back into the rat race. Not everyone that gets activated stays on their path of activation. Truly. So if you've been activated and you're still pushing along this many years, you're powerful. It's your lifetime. But you just have to trust. It's not about the time. It's learning the lessons along the way. Very beautiful, powerful collective. I'm getting emotional because I don't think enough credit is given to people that create this internal change. It's very powerful. You should be proud of yourself. It's hard. It's a very, very hard journey. Anyway, back to this. So King of Swords, they could have been an air sign, and maybe it was them as well. Maybe they were really paralyzed in fear when it came to you, especially if there were some things that were suppressed and secrets and things kept in the dark. But also I feel this person connected to you, even yourself, you both could have been these are my truth seekers, my Queen of Swords and my King of Swords. So even there was deception and skeletons, I'm seeing two truth seekers. So it's like you both could have been a dog with a bone with certain things that, you know, you were holding on to. Remember I was saying I feel two people that had powerlessness here. A lot of emotion, but when I'm reading love, right, and I know this was your past connection, I don't like to see that King and Queen of Swords. They're great when it comes to ambition and self-work and self-discovery. They're very kind of logical and do it by the book and but with love, they're quite a detached, cold energy. And maybe that's what happened here in the past as well. We had, and I always say, as people, when it comes to argument styles, you've got the talker, the yeller, and the silencer. Maybe your argument styles were very different as well, and there was a lack of compromise, which, if we've got trust issues and there's only you two and you've cut off the whole world, when you'd have an argument, it would be like your whole world was crumbling apart because you had no one to turn to, okay? But I just feel we had maybe a talker, a communicator, and then we had a silencer. So there was all of these issues bubbling under the surface and nothing was getting compromised or solved because we've got two people that unfortunately didn't know how to communicate the best. And if you've had a life full of trauma and not trusted in love, especially if your heart chakra, solar chakra, even sacral were really affected at a very young age, it's very hard to get deep and vulnerable and own weakness. Just a lack of self-awareness because both of you had such an armored heart and you didn't even know it at all. It was kind of doomed before it even started, but that's how it was meant to be. Whatever your catalyst was before this person, it's what finally activated your frequency to call them in. Okay, vice versa. You were meant to find each other at this point in life when you found them, is what I mean. And whatever's coming next, because you signed your soul contract for it. Your whole timeline's already written out. And you've been working so hard to bring in your abundant timeline. This isn't just coming to you to tell you this person wants to confess. It's don't give in to magnetic pull. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't give in to the temptation of your shadow. It's kept you bound to this condemnment. Focus on being the best you right now, because whatever you're doing is working. If you're having that temptation, remember addictions. If there's something trying to tempt you right now with addictions, or even bad diet, or maybe you're going through conflict with family and you're not wanting to deal with it, or whatever it is, you've been working so hard. What in your shadow that you've been trying to heal is activated right now? Don't deviate too far off. Let's get you back on track. Okay? High Priestess. Maybe work was a priority here as well back then. So that's another thing I find. When we're full of trauma, like I said, we don't appreciate what we have. We don't appreciate the blessing of love. I always say this isn't just to heal trauma. It's to appreciate happiness. It's to understand gratitude. It's to not wish it away. To understand anything that tops our life, external abundance, people, relationships, it really is a topping, it's a blessing. And we should focus on the happiness and not be so critical of little actions and this and that. It's to not wish our happiness away and think, oh, that's too good to be true. How long's this gonna last? How long's this? This journey is not just for healing, it's for appreciation. Okay? And I think work really got in the way of this connection. And the sad thing is, you were very disconnected, and I don't think this collective saw this as a reason at the time either. There's a few things you couldn't see under the surface because it just felt so good. Okay, you got one card about how it felt good, but look at everything that's around it. Which means there was a lot of trauma, a lot of love trauma here. The universe had to pull you away. You weren't learning from the past. You weren't learning, but you weren't meant to. Okay, not learning from the past. Maybe you presented like there was a bit of lack of interest here until it was too late. There could have been third-party friction when this person started presenting quite uncommitted, let it be through ghosting or, you know, just shutting down. You couldn't let them go. It was your abandonment, your codependent. So the fact that ghosting's here, you could have felt like this just fell apart like that, but there were so many warning signs. You can see it. But again, the blindness of how good this made you feel, you couldn't, like every other love situation, maybe the feeling was different. You felt more validated, more seen, more confident with this person, but there was still arguments. There was still volatility. There was restlessness. There was codependence, just like every other pattern you had been in. They didn't want that for you anymore. You didn't want that for you anymore. Remember, you chose your life. It felt good. But it was the same as everything else that had come and gone out of your life, but you couldn't see it at that time because of the way they made you feel. But guaranteed, the person that came before this person, when you were in the midst of your love bubble, those first few months, you would have thought they were your be-all and end-all. It's what I'm trying to get at. You were repeating what you had always repeated, but you couldn't see it just yet. Okay? And then the ending came. The metamorphosis. It was time to clear and purge. It was time to transform. Emerge from your cocoon, not just yet, but you had to go through a metamorphosis, a rebirth. You had to find your soul again. Your soul you were trying to find in so many lifetimes. Okay. Unless you're a divine, this is going to sound so woo-woo. 5 of Swords. Wheel was at play, but this was your in reverse turning point. It was your big push. Karmic lessons finally came to surface. Everything we say is for a reason. You started to realize it's not everything else in my life that makes my life shit. It's my decisions. It's my actions. I need to heal. I need to be better. I want to be better. This upheaval changed your life. It was now no longer your decision. It was external forces that came to aid, which means Archangel Michael, and I always say this, he gives us, he's our protector, so he's our most painful archangel. He gives us sign after sign, upheaval, argument, always that we're deviating. He gives us sign, the shitty job that we just always get that intuition we should leave or we're going to be sad. He gives us sign. But every time we choose to ignore the signs he's putting in our path, he eventually has enough and he blows his trumpet. Quantum shift happened and everything's ripped away. They gave you the chance to make the decision yourself, but you didn't, and you would have put in your contract, if I don't see it when this comes around, make things happen for me. So they did. Okay, everything's timed to the millisecond, and you would have felt luck was against you at this point, losing everything. But believe it or not, and this is why I say, when our life's about to change for the better, everything feels like it's going to shit. So embrace those moments, because you know something good is around the corner. Because after this happened, within a few months, your whole life had changed. You really had connected to your birthright. You really had connected to the things that you were just always destined to do. You were starting to make plans. You started to express gratitude. You started to see the power you had within. You found yourself. Okay? And I think there was always hopes. Are they coming back? Is this the time they come back? Is that the sign? Is that the sign? Is this them? Are they about to return home? It's like this. They were your muse. And you probably did know it. It was their face, and I find this at the start as well for my divines. It's them that keep you going. It's the thought of union, but that's meant to dissipate away. And then it turns to you. You start to see your power. You start to see the change you're creating through whatever mission work you've activated to. You start to realize that this journey was always about you. They are no longer your muse. You become your muse. Very powerful connection. It's just never the right time, because you wouldn't be who you are today. And you think the right collective, true divines, you're here to heal the world and make it a better place. So really think, how many people have you put sparkle into? I always say, you guys change one person. One person. That's you changing the world, because it's a domino effect. And I guarantee this collective, you've changed more than one person. So you're doing your mission work. And that's powerful. Remember, you guys are only 5% of the population. 85 conform to the 10%. Our world leaders, they're in their rest life. We robots to the system. So yes, it's painful. And yes, gosh, that abundant timeline, that's a hard one. But it's for a reason. That's why I look at this place as pretty much a game that cannot be beat. But not for the 5%. Remember that. We always talk here about the devil's path is easy. It's the job you don't have to move. It's the job that makes the easy money. Okay. The dark path is the easy path. That's why we get so tempted. Deviations, the shadow, the hard path, our light path, our creator's path. It's bloody hard. It's scary. It calls us to have blind faith, to step into the unknown, to take those opportunities that our whole soul is telling us not to, because that's the dark, the magnetic pull to not succeed. It's just going. And you divines, you learn that straight away. Everyone turns against you. Everyone tells you you can't do what you have envisioned that you're going to do. You've got people wanting to admit you. You have to fight for your authentic soul. As soon as you activate, this journey is hard. And anyone on this journey, you guys, I always say you need to take periodic moments of just self-appreciation and seeing how far you've come. You guys aren't, it's like, it's so long and repetitive that you really fail to see how powerful you are, how magical you are, how amazing you are. And you're the people here that really will change this world. And you don't appreciate yourselves enough, and it's heartbreaking. This collective, you're touching my soul. You're making me emotional. You're beautiful. All right, enough of me rambling. I want to see how the universe is seeing this connection. And then we'll really tap into this person's emotion. And we'll see what's coming next. All right, how does the universe view your love story? What is the universe? It was the connection to make you awaken, to go through self-sacrifice, to understand why you are stuck in life, to break free from illusions, to inspire you, to activate your spirituality and your intuition and your psychic abilities, to lock you into your dreams, to enlighten. It was always destined. It was just stuck. It found you at the perfect time. Magician. It was literally guided. Universal magic. It was always destined for you. It was meant to make you see yourself and activate your greatness and activate your power within, vice versa. You signed off a lot to achieve in this lifetime. So much greater than just your love story. 10th of the 2nd, 2nd of the 10th. Could be important memory, date. It was to break you out of always feeling maybe the world was working against you, but to learn and teach you that persistence pays off and to not give up. It was to teach you determination, perseverance, and strength. It was to show you your guidance, the lighthouse energy you had within. It was to teach you patience. It was to teach you that nothing worth having comes easy. It was to teach you commitment. It was to teach you that there's always new things on the horizon. It was to teach you that making your dreams become a reality. It was to make you believe in magic. That anything you put your mind to, you can achieve. Literally making dreams real. That's beautiful. 28th of the 10th, 2nd of the 8th, 8th of the 2nd. To teach you how to break free from your shadow, your whip energy, your childhood trauma. To teach you your trauma doesn't define you. You can get through anything. Your fighting style, certain pain you had experienced, doing it alone, the way you would snap. I'm getting so emotional. And my divine community, I always say this, we have all people that have we've had hard lives. And I just feel this collective's heart space. And it's beautiful. It's very rare a collective can bring this kind of emotion out of me. And your heart would be your biggest strength in this world. And you weren't allowed to let anyone take that away from you. And unfortunately, I think the life you were living and experiencing before this person, I don't even think you realized your heart was your biggest strength and your heart could heal the world. Okay. It's meant to make you heal all this, and it was meant to make you heal feeling alone. This collective, I think you have felt alone your whole life, but you were meant to. Remember, you chose that. This love was meant to heal you, be the catalyst for the start of your, to connect you to your spirituality and your destiny, to activate your divine guidance, to get you through trials and tribulations, to learn to stand in conviction and not be walked over, not let people mistake your kindness for weakness anymore, to learn to trust in fate, to learn when you're going through crisis you're always protected and never alone, to help you get through sorrow and emotional loss, to help you see clearly, to understand emotion. Very beautiful. To activate your ambition, to activate what you needed to achieve in this life, to again change the world. You were meant to be established. You were born to be a diamond. This connection was sent to you to make you break free. It's funny, I saw this video and I brought this, deviation. I don't know if you guys have seen A Discovery of Witches, and I spoke about this like last year, and there's this scene where when anyway, her parents are witchy poos, and they bind her, they spellbound her, right? So she would be hidden, her magic would be hidden from people. She was so special. And I remember coming onto my Snapchat and saying, it's like, that's what happens here. We are literally conformed. We're spellbound when we're born. It's when we activate, it's like those bounds start to shed away and we activate to our power again, right? And it's so funny. I was scrolling on TikTok today, and there was a man, actually reposted it. There was a who had literally recorded that scene, and the truth he spoke about that. So I was just blown away, because it was literally word for word what I had said. And if anyone hasn't seen Discovery of Witches, I think it's on Prime. It's 2 or 3 seasons. It is such a powerful series for the hidden messages in it. Okay, the threads in our world, everything. Whoever wrote that, I've actually got the books here as well. It's whoever wrote that, True Witchy Poo. There's a reason it came to my mind. Definitely a must watch. And if you have seen that, this was meant to unbound you. This love was meant to take that energy away so you could activate your power again. But really focus on your career. I'm meant to activate your birthright. Stop it. And your divine masculine energy within. I always say you guys start from a wounded place. Wounded masculine, wounded feminine. Without that divine masculine strength, that's what keeps you pushing to achieve as well. I'm feminine, I'm masculine. It's a balance. But it was meant to just be an energy surge throughout your body. Find your power. Tap into your fulfillment. Release your pride and ego. Learn to believe how much you radiate. To focus on success again. And remember universe's perspective. Your divine masculine externally. But victory, happiness and warmth. Also appreciate these things. So with this, things at work again, like you needed to learn to remove this out of your energy and not let this kind of energy just break you down so much in life. I think overwhelmed before this person. Your emotions, literally strong emotions, would overwhelm you. It could just rabbit hole you. Very over analytical, over analyzer. Before this person, they were really meant to teach you to learn how to tame. To learn how to heal that, I don't want to say inner beast, but it's a magician card, that female magician learning to tame the ferocious lion within. Break free from things that had kept you shackled, especially when it came to disappointments. Literally. Learn how to rip off the band-aid and not let it swallow you whole. Learn to experience sudden and unexpected changes without thinking it was the end of your world. This was the last bit of trauma. I don't think this collective will ever go through I always say a loss of a child or certain people. I know it's painful, but for this specific collective, I'm going to say, because it was going to come out of my mouth, I don't think that you could go through anything more painful than what you've been through to date, if that makes sense. This taught you to walk through the fire. It taught you to, I don't want to say know how to deal with a reckoning, but just understand emotion better is what I'm trying to say. Hip energy. It was divine intervention, and it was sent from our heavens. You two are written in the stars. Divine intervention, duality. It was all perfect timing. They sent this person in a serendipitous moment. They would have made you, through interaction, see this was sent from up above. But also it was meant to activate your light codes. It was meant to ascend you out of this. It was meant to make you understand the power of balance, as above, so below. You had no balance in your energy. You were constantly deviating from your path. You didn't understand sun and moon energy. You didn't understand the balance of the internal soul. Everything has an opposite in this world, and you needed to learn that. I always say this with this path. It's not just walking the light path. You need to learn how to walk through you need to find the middle path. Okay, everything needs a balance. You needed to learn that. And rainbows could be a real sign for you as well. And judgment, literally. I wanted you to get a clean slate. All of this is how they see your connection. You are both very powerful people. As I'm speaking to you, you are one. Okay? So what you have learned, they have had to learn too. And yes, they're 6 to 9 months behind your journey. This collective, you're powerful. You're very, very powerful. And you've always known from the moment of activation, your story. But it's just been the time that has maybe sometimes made you come in and out of belief, or whatever the case may be. You are one. And you both deserve this awakening in life, a total transformation. You finally heeded the call. A renewal, surrender, awakening, a rebirth, a clean slate. Fundamental changes had to take place because it was your destiny. You had to clear and purge the old. You had to learn about the past, present, and future versions. It was meant to teach you to not isolate. It was meant to teach you, and you guys go, and I've spoken about spiritual isolation, but if you are someone as a lone wolf and tend to isolate, this is another lesson. So yes, they put you in spiritual isolation, but it's another lesson to learn, to get yourself back out in the world. Your glow and your sparkle and your magnetizing energy was granted to you at birth for a reason. The vessel you chose. That magnetizing energy is not meant to be kept in a home tucked away. Okay. Meant to get you out in society in the right way, to start a new season, to become a trendsetter. I think you've always been a trendsetter. To become a leader in life, both of you. For new beginnings, and to activate your heart properly. To learn how to love properly. Love, romance, joy, bliss, heart's desires. Effect. For someone, remember I said your strength is love. It's your heart space. So you deserve love of a lifetime. It's your strength. You didn't deserve what you were experiencing because of your trauma. You needed to heal. Affection, fulfillment, kindness, forgiveness, passion. Your caring, beautiful, gentle, soft nature that unfortunately you had lost because of the life you had chosen. Okay. Temperance. Last one. One more. Two. You got it again. Fate. Karma cycles, forces of the universe. Destiny. You are meant to activate to the synchronicity, to finally release what you deserve, but to also understand and learn it's out of your hands. You need to trust us though. We've helped you see, you've seen, 4D mind, what we are going to grant you. Now don't you give up, because look what you've got to get through. This is going to take years of commitment, but you can do it. Okay. Become the archer. This is good. Things are fluid. I'm hearing that tame to attain again. But to activate your mystic within, your dreams, your enchanting nature, your sensitivity, your compassion, your romance, healing. And then of course, lucky last, the swan. Twin flame, the one. A pair of things, deep soul connection, blooming love, divination, but faith. Faith, to activate your faith and your belief from the universe. Trust. Trust. It's powerful. Very powerful. Okay. Oh, Do I get this person? It's just been very beautiful. Let's see their intention towards you right now. And then we'll just, I think we should just roll the dice and see what's coming. Oh, way too many. Remember the message. This person is, there's a confession on its way. It's eating this person. It's very rare I hear a confession of love. I normally tie in a confession to secrets, to things being revealed. This person's clearly going through something very transformative and powerful, and they know they're at a critical junction right now. It's like they know they need to make a decision, but unfortunately I do feel there's a bit of fear over them. Maybe they really did choose to settle and choose their karmic surroundings, but it's been part of your journey, okay? For me to be speaking the way I'm speaking to this collective, there's such a powerful realization that's taken over you. I always say as a reader, I'm not here to tell you how to feel. I'm here to confirm your energy. And this past week and a half, I've had... Actually, no, that's not true. I think it's been the last couple of days I have felt such a powerful release in a couple of our divine collectives. And I think this collective, the way I just broke everything down and really was so much focused on past. So maybe you're going through nostalgia or reminiscing, but not from a painful place, a place of understanding and a place of acceptance. Okay, because I think that's what's happening here. They're starting to accept what they've done. They're starting to take accountability for their decisions and what they chose. They're starting to take accountability that maybe they've listened to other people instead of their heart's desires for so long. But the thing was, it was your veils. It had to be that way. So neither of you should have guilt from the past, but that's something that's clearly happening a little bit here. I do feel they're balancing. I took forever in making my mind up about our connection. Instead of speaking to you, I'd run away and indulge in unnecessary pleasures. But remember what we were talking about, the pull, the temptation, we deviate. I always say, you don't just have your timeline to get through. True divines, they're constantly, you're mirroring, right? A lot of the time your temptation and that magnetic pull comes over you. You're not just dealing with what you have to deal with, you're dealing with them. And this is why I say don't give in to the urge. So if you know they struggled with things that they would indulge in to numb things away, or that they always listen to karmic people, they're a people pleaser, or they're someone that seeks validation, it's like when that's getting activated in you, it's hard because you're not just having to heal yourself in an odd way. You're doing energy work for them to pull them up on their timeline, right? And this is why I say you guys are like magnets. When you're falling into this, because they're falling into this, they're 6 to 9 months behind your journey, you're repelling each other and making it harder. When you stop giving into that temptation, again, being the best version of you are, and understanding that's the darkness coming in, that's their heavy energy, they need help right now, and you just start powering as hard as it is because you're strong enough to do it. Instead of repelling each other, opposites attract, you start to pull each other in, right? So again, you guys, warriors, whoever activates into that feminine energy, this is another big sign with true twin flames. They heal like you heal. They activate like you activate. You might not see it. Everyone's got their own story until they come in or whatever it is. But they change. You're one. Okay. They know they settled. And now they're at this critical junction. Maybe there's something about age difference here that really affected their decision towards this. And true divines, it's another thing. Societal issue. And age gap is normally a big one. I know there is a huge age gap between us, and some may even object. This is where they're underneath critical juncture. This has kept them away, but they're balancing it, okay? I'm trying to balance the scales of our life, our connection. I took from you more than you were able to give, and I used you for my own benefit. This is what they're going over. I now understand this was unhealthy and unfair. I'm sorry. but they want to rebuild. I feel it's genuine. So whatever's going on in your life, you feel a shift, and don't you desanitize right now. I think the right collective, that's come up a bit. I think maybe one of the things they still struggle with is certain addictions with some form. They do something here to indulge. Don't give in to anything indulgent right now, the right collective. We say readings come for a far greater reason. They come across you for far greater than an outcome to a situation. Remember, we are healers. They're meant to heal a part of your soul and make pennies drop and understand, and something very powerful shifting here. Numbers, 62, 67, car plate numbers, house numbers. You could have just spent $62.67. You could be born in 83, 5555, I believe, 37 and 38. Okay. I want to get twin flame cards from our universe. I think we just need more universal messages, and then we'll get tarot. This is enough. There's meant to be a bit of a surprise here when it comes to what they want to say, and it definitely feels genuine and warm. I don't think you need to see how they feel and this and that. I think the universe's guidance is enough. They know they've messed some things up here. But the Big Ben. Why am I? You could be in the UK, or maybe you've wanted to go. Okay. Let's read that one first. Timing and intentions. We need to wait for divine time. There's a reason I don't want to get that just yet. It's supposed to be a surprise of your lifetime. This is a miracle. Okay, like for the right collective, you're waiting for this for a long time. Trust that you're nearly there. Time is healing our wounds and creating the perfect conditions for our reunion. It's like all your angels are up there, your ancestors with their pom-poms, and they're just waiting to see both of your excited, beautiful faces. 6 of the first of the 6. I miss you. Let's both stop running away. Both. Emphasis on both. So whatever you're avoiding in life right now, don't avoid. I feel you pulling away, and it triggers my... It's not that you're pulling away. You're finally in release and peace and surrender. I felt it. I got so emotional in the start of this. There's a real beautiful heart center taking place in this collective, and they can feel it. But it's not you pulling away. It's you truly surrendering. For the first time in your journey, the right collective, you've just surrendered. I feel you've walked through the pain. You finally got through the fire. My fear is that you'll leave me for good. When we're talking, things just come out of my mouth, and afterwards I'm not... And that's what they're going over. The regret over decisions, words, whatever it was. Maybe you're going through some moments of regretting some things that you're saying to people around you, family, friends, co-workers. That could be activated in your energy right now. This one's triggering. So maybe some of you, I don't think the right collective would have, but this is that please contact me. I may not respond, but knowing you care opens my heart. I think this has happened in the past. I think in the past, and it's funny because today's collective on TikTok, I said they never wanted to ghost you. They didn't know how to love you. They loved you too much, it pained them. They didn't want to open the door again. And I feel this has maybe happened in the past year. You've contacted them, or maybe they even contacted you and it was just too painful. But I think this is also the universe saying, you don't need to reach out, you don't need to nothing, you just need to sit in this balance. Go sit under the moonlight or the sunlight, whatever it is, spend a bit of time in nature over the next upcoming weeks. Okay, I find spiritual people, you're always in nature anyway. Okay, you got 666 here. I want to know everything about you. I just hold myself back. I've just been afraid to ask because I'm scared I'll get too deep. It's like that your touch will destroy me energy. Your inner children, I'm going to say, Oh no, it says it down here. Your children need to come first. Trust that they are part of our plan. And then alternate about inner child. Our inner children need to come for the healing, the path, the deviation at the start. 64, favorite angel number, our creator's number, I believe. I miss you. My ego is fragile to criticism and rejection right now. So this is why they're really going over what to say. But this is underneath, let's stop both running away. So facing the emotion instead of being scared of it. I've created walls to protect myself. 5-5. I'll contact you when I'm able to. This is underneath. I feel you pulling away and it's triggering me. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'll contact you when I'm able to. Right now my life is a little bit complicated to bring you into it, but just know I do want to talk to you. Look at all these communications. I'm trying to leave my comfort zone with this. I believe that. Oh, I love this one. 11:11. When I look into your eyes, I see the universe and it activates me. So they love your beautiful eyes. And mirrors. This situation is being caused by both of us. I feel in a positive way, to be honest. Look at your own role in the situation to help us change it. So just keep being positive. Keep doing what you're doing. It's not even that you're focusing on this person. You're just focusing on you. The Ra Collective. It's nice. Mirrors at the bottom. 10:10 completion. I'm awakening and I know more than I'm letting on. We love that card. It amazes me when we say the same, telepathically connected, say the same thing at the same time. Last one. Communication. I was going to say my 11:11 didn't come out. I wish I could say what I really feel. Someday I will, but just right now I'm afraid to be myself. It's funny because that first purple deck, I really felt this was, but the more I'm reading this, I don't think this person's made their decision just yet. I think they're on the fence, which means decisions, timeline. Don't be altering anything right now. All right, let's get a die. All right, I'm going to get a dice. Now, if a 6 comes out, they don't want me to tap into what's coming next. Anything else will do weeks. 6. I knew it, because it's truly divine. I'm not meant to tell you guys what's coming next, which means it's not far. I could feel it. I can always feel when it's, especially because you wait for it for so long. Cheeky. Let me get you one more deck, though. I knew that was going to happen. Heart-to-heart conversation is coming. Trust. Trust, trust, trust. Not long. Because you guys have become new. You're new people. You're not holding on to the past because you've healed the past. This is the one. Just keep your faith. Spiritual factors, religious factors. You had to come into spiritual alignment. Remember that. And just that light-hearted nature. Extend your light-hearted energy to one another. One more. 2 more. Well, we know that. Oh, attraction and the chemistry fell out of my hand as well. True love. We know that. That's all you need to know, this collective. Okay, but watch codependence. So that's going to be, I always say, you guys, you'll get a lesson though. Codependency was a big thing. So that'll be activated again. Remember, codependency comes from trauma and lack of trust. Don't cage each other. You can't cage your love. You're both birds for this world, butterflies. So you need to spread your wings. I want to get you, these are my own personal cards, but I just feel so connected to this collective. I want to get you one of these. I never use my personal cards for collectives or personals. I've used these once before for you guys, once. It's funny, I just split that on moving forward and that arrow. You could have a tattoo of an arrow or something. I just went straight back to that Archer card. Remember, I was like, that's important. Something on target right now. Initiation. So, Equinox, Solstice, powerful card. upgrading something very powerful around that time, if you get my drift. You're going through another initiation. Number 16. What's this reading been about? I knew it. Unconditional love. I just have this collective, you're warming my heart. You are your unconditional love. Remember that. Number 33. Oh my God, you're going to make me emotional again. So you could be seeing 333 a lot. When we're seeing 3-3 a lot, one about expansion, but our ancestors are there by our side. Okay. Certain things with knowledge and certain things are on the way. This card's about Mother Mary, by the way. The little Buddha, that's you. Oh, can I show that on YouTube? I can't show her boobies. But your inner wisdom's getting activated, Mother Gaia. You've got Mother Mary and Mother Gaia. Balance of our spiritual and our earthly plane. Number 17. 16, 17, 33. And you got it again, the moving forward. We split on. That's an important one. Moving forward now, number 19. Air energy. And last one. Last one. The teacher. Of course, you're a divine. Remember that. The wolf. But no longer a lone wolf, but also wolves, one mate their whole life, just like our little penguins. Do I get you one animal card? I'm going to get you an animal card. Wolf is clearly important here for this collective, though. Let's get you one of these. Let's get you one, and then one for the person connected to you. What animal strength you guys are in. This main collective. Oh, you got two. But miracle on the bottom, and I just said miracle waiting. Oh, the sea otter. This one reminds me of Libra energy, but the sea otter, happiness. Be the master of playful living. Release expectations and enjoy the ride. And every day, no one to see. They don't want to. No expectations here. Let worry go and instead choose love. Unconditional love. Surrender to the waves. Your good destiny of love is sure. True. Oh my God! Stop it! You got the lady. Luck is on your side. Ladybug, good luck and rebirth. So lady beetles and sea otters. You are a bright energy. Let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about being a loving and colourful you. You bless the world with colour and good luck. So let that be repaid to you. All right, let's get you beautiful person. Oh, came out straight away. So they're going through self-reliance right now. That's good. That makes sense with a critical junction, turning away from people that kept them caged. You are strongly independent and often solitary. Integrity is important for your best outcome, which they're going over. Cloak yourself with invisibility. And walk with the shamans, which I straight away am hearing this person's finally connecting to their Hierophant, their high priestess within. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection, so they're not letting people in on their decisions they're making with you. Maybe this person always seeks advice from family, that there's something about them walking in silence. They're not letting people into what they're feeling towards you and what action they're going to, which is good. I always say things like that, especially with a lot of friction, can ruin a good thing. There's a reason this is really sticking out to me, this line. Maybe your connection, especially if there was a lot of opinions in the past, it just needs to be approached with a little bit more silence, okay, from external. Oh, wow, this grizzly bear. So they're stepping into their power. I am indestructible. I honor they've got two about their intuition. They're definitely tapping in. I honor my intuition and go where it leads. Love and gentleness are my real strength. So you would remember this person having a lot of love and gentleness and sensitivity. I never give up and I will succeed, and they're determined. They could be an 8, just kind of like, you would have remembrance of their determination in life and their loving energy. Okay, that was beautiful. That, I know we didn't, everything happens for a reason. Okay. Woo! All right, so, oh, and of course that, did you see that come out? I have Ra, I have Horus, Ancient Egypt, I believe my true divines. You've all had a lifetime. Ancient Egypt, I believe that was our started time. I don't care what anyone says. H, the big J, but also the crescent moon. This could come in our moon phase of love, but they could be born on the crescent moon, or you could be. But remember, your perseverance, my silver bell, the perseverance bell, this is my baby pearl. But I was going to say, just remember, it wasn't just you that had to find your pearl, it was them. You were one in the same. It was a two-person journey of healing. Never just you. It was also them. Remember that. And you've got a baby pearl here. 10-10 completion. 60, but 10-10, you just got 3 10s. 10-10, what the work? 10-10-10, and in your other role you had 10-10. 10's very important as well. 3rd of the 5th, 5th of the 3rd. Wow. All right, my loves, I love you guys. And that was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I loved reading that. And I love reading all your energy, but that one touched my heart. I love you guys.